Hi everyone, it's Bonnie here, and today I'd like to share with you a project that I just finished creating. This here is it's a paper mache gravestone, but it's not paper mache. It's very, very thick cardstock. So I picked that up at Michael's because I really wanted to alter one of these for my home. Every year I try to do something. And that guy up there was my total inspiration in creating this. So let me bring him closer so you can have a closer look. I really didn't know how to film this because it's so big, but that's what he looks like. And I just thought he was super cool. He's got these long dangly arms and these long dangly legs. I put some of that bling mesh, you know, in his eyes to make him look even more creepier. I tend to like the more scarier things for Halloween, you know, instead of the cutesy. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, let's see how I'm going to film this. I'll just pick it up. It's not very heavy, but it's very, very tall. So I have this furry spider there that I picked up at Michael's, and it originally had those googly eyes. So I just took them out because they looked, you know, cutesy, and I put in the you know, the mesh bling there. Let me see if I can get a closer look at him. So isn't he adorable? Not that I like spiders, I actually hate them. And then I got this guy over here, and he came in a pack at Michael's. And I think that might be a little bit too close for him. And so I had these for a long time, and I originally had used those for stick pins on projects because there's a hole going through him. And again, I just put the bling mesh in for his eyes. I thought that looked really, really cool. So this black stuff here is you can buy that at the dollar store, and I love the look of it, and it's you know, really cool for this project. But I also have it on here for more area for like him to stick to, and then I kind of just put it over him, you know, just for him to be anchored like a little bit more. So that worked out well. So this little witch here is the newest Arctic Cake Halloween ones. Isn't she cool? I love her face. I'm not too pleased with the cameo because it's really not creepy, but I just left that there. But I really loved her, and she's just sitting on the edge of the gravestone there. Okay, so over here at the top, you'll see some of this stuff that I did here. It's texture paint, and I just took black paint and mixed it with sand. So it made a gritty texture. And as you can see, I did this crackling in here with the Prima Crackle, and I just used texture paste and again black paint, and I did it all over the gravestone. So I thought that was cool. And then in the center here is, I had gotten tons of these little skull charms, because if you notice, this is skull themed. So I put that in the middle, and this is a chipboard that came from the Steampunk Spells, and that's what I used for the papers, the Steampunk Spells. Some of you know that two weekends ago, I had a really hard time cutting into my papers. I got all my stuff out. I was ready, and I couldn't do it. I even, set it aside and came back and still couldn't do it. So this past weekend, I actually cut into my papers, and I'm so happy I did because I really love how this came out. So on the sides there, and on this side over here, I have those wooden chipboard pieces that you get from Michaels, and I just painted those black and put them behind the clock chipboard. And then the Tim Holtz wings, one there, and then just one on the other side. And that red jewel there, I had that in my stash. I'm not really sure where I got it. So originally, I'm going to put this down for a sec. Originally, what I wanted to do with this gravestone was in the middle, have it exploding out, like Miranda does, and have it exploding out, and I was going to put stuff coming out of it. And then my daughter suggested I do a scene inside there. So when I started cutting in this, because it's really tough to cut into, I just couldn't do it, and it would have came out messy. So I used the Tim Holtz configuration boxes, and made a square hole in there and just put those in there, and I lined all of the little boxes with the paper. So let me bring this up again. Okay, so in this box here, I have this awesome cool skeleton, and that there is a Melissa Francis resin frame. I think there's too much glare on him and he came in a sticker pack that coordinates with the paper. And then here is a Wild Orchid Craft Flower. I'm so sorry, this is shaky. Trying to get the light in here good. Alright, so over on this side, I just have some bling mesh that goes down, and then I have this little spider here that dangles from it. Isn't he cute? And then over here I just have a skull. I'm not even sure what it was. I think what this was, I have a couple of Halloween trees, and I think that was left over. It was, you know, a decoration that you can hang on the tree. So I put that there on the frame. And going over here, see that awesome cool skeleton? He comes from the dollar store, and again, I put those eyes, those mesh bling eyes in there. And if you notice, this is a black zipper. So I had him coming out of it, and I used one of those Tim Holtz fasteners at the top. So I think that looks really cool. And then he is surrounded by some roses that are actually turning black. And I used, again, that black texture paint on there. And you notice how all the boxes are decorated or embellished with the paper. So moving on to this box up here. If you see back there, there's a tree and it was brown, and I just painted it black. And that came in, it's like the Halloween buttons, and there's all kinds of stuff that comes in the pack, like ghosts and stuff like that in the tree, and I can't remember the other things. So I just put that back there for like a little scene. And then here's another Melissa Francis resin piece, and I put another one of those coordinating pictures from the paper. And then here's another one of those skull heads with the googly, not the googly, yeah, the mesh bling eyes. And then in there, see the glass vial? That's a Tim Holtz glass vial. I don't know if you can see. Oh my gosh, this is so shaky. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's hard to hold on to it because there's so much stuff. Let's see if I can adjust the lighting so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, we're not good at getting good lighting in here. I am so sorry. In there, let's see if I can get in close. Nope, that's worse. I'm so sorry. Okay, so in there is the glass vial, and I have the hand that comes with that skeleton here, and there's some ribs and stuff in there. So I just put that in that glass vial. So over here, I know I'm kind of crazy. In this box, this is a really cool box. I have this fence here that I got from Michaels, and I wish I had more to show. But it comes in those, you know, where they have the scenes, they have the motion. I wish, what is the name of them? There's all kinds of little houses, and they do all kinds of little things, and then you have these that come with it, you know, to place around the houses and stuff. Well, this is a fence, and it's, this is the corner one, and what I did was I just cut it apart, very, very easy, because it's soft plastic, and then I stuck this guy here, which was one of those other tree decorations. Isn't he cool? His hat was purple, so I just painted it black, and put a wild orchid craft flower on his hat. And then down there, I have a Tim Holtz number 31, and then I have this little bat that sits on it. And then over here is a couple more of those skulls, and I just put some red flowers in between them. So I thought that looked really cool. And then I have this creepy hand here that comes in a pack. It's like a mesh baggie from Michaels. So that's that box. And then moving over here, I have another spider, which I had for a long time. I thought she was just so cool and so beautiful. Again, I hate spiders, especially big creepy ones like this, I scream. I'm like paralyzed. So I used her there, and she's kind of creepy crawling out of the box, trying to get away. And then up there is another Melissa Francis resin corner piece. And then back there, if you can see, it says rest in peace. And there's a crow on top of it. The RIP was in purple, and I just painted it black because these were cutesy. And then I took some of this chain and attached it to the zipper pull and strung it all the way over here to this side. This is an hourglass piece that came in a game, so I just put that there. I thought that was really cool. This is part of that fence, and I cut it out to make it look like a spider web. And then this piece up here, I'm not really sure where that came from, but I had that in my stash, and I stuck that there. Oh, and then there's this like candelabra thing here. That also came in the button pack. So I put that there. And then I have these two beautiful wild orchid flowers. Oops, so sorry. Very, very hard to hold because I just don't know where to grab onto here. Alright, so there's the wild orchid craft flowers, and I put, you know, all the black stuff on there. I think that looks so cool. And let's go back over here to this box. Where was I? I'm here. Okay, so this box is, it's really cute too. I put the another spiderweb fence here, and then these legs that are sticking out go to this skeleton here. The poor thing, I ripped him from limb to limb. And there's his leggies. And that is another one of those hangers that came in the pack of tree ornaments. So I thought that looked really cool there. And then over in this box, I took the whole part of the fence and put it across. And here is more of those charms that came in those skull charm pack. I just think those are so cool. I had gotten those last year on eBay. And then put a black wild orchid rose there. And then I strung more chain here from here and hung one of those Tim Holtz number plates here, 31. And then hung this bauble here, and I believe this is an Arctic Cake one. Alright, so while I'm on this side, I'll show you this little cute little thing here. This here wraps around the side of it, and it's a fence that I picked up at Joann's, and I just painted it all black. And then along here I just added some of that mesh bling. So I thought that looked really cool. And then I have one of those creepy hands grabbing out of it. But that looked really cool. So that's that. And then moving over here to this side is this awesome hand. Let me just pan out a little bit. There you go. So I have this cool hand that I also picked up at Michael's. This was another one of my favorite decorations from this year that Michael's put out. It's, I don't know what it's made of. It's pretty hard plastic. I'm not really sure. But it came with this meshy stuff here. And then if you can see, there's like a little spider on there. And then I just put this bling here for a ring. It's actually like a button or something. And then around the entire back of it, I added these roses because it kind of needed something to be glued to because of the shape of it. Oh, and I also added bling there. So all around it, I added, you know, those roses. So see how it's glued to the roses? So that's that. I think that is awesome. Talk about creepy hands, huh? And then from this guy's leg, I got him chained up. I just added that black chain there. So that is the front of the box, or the gravestone. And I really love how it came out. And then on the side here, here's one of the papers that I used. Isn't it pretty? I love this one. Is one of my favorites with the clocks and the big spider webs inside. And then there's these bats. And see, here's more of that texture paint there. It's like really thick and gritty. And then on the bottom, I just have this bling going across there. The back, I just left plain, just painted it black. So that's how that looks. And then on this side is the same paper that's on the other side, but you can see that crackle really well on this side. And that's the Prima. I love that die. There's a beautiful clock in the paper. And then I just put some more of that mesh bling there. And that's it. Oh, my thing came out of there. Okay, so that is my altered gravestone. I'm really, really happy how it turned out. Isn't that cute? So I hope I was able to show everything, because like I said, it was really hard to get everything in frame, but you see how big it is, and then just how tall with the skeleton guy. It's fairly huge. And when I decorated the boxes, I decorated them outside of this first, painted them all black, and then used the texture paint and added the paper inside, glued it all together, wrapped rubber bands around it, and then I put a paper on the back of it, a chipboard piece of paper, and glued it down to that, and then just glued it right inside. So that's how that looks. I'm really pleased. I haven't decorated my house yet for Halloween, but this is totally an inspiration to do so. And again, like I said, I hope you like my scary gravestone. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and take care. Bye-bye.